Hello and welcome to Science Meets Vedanta, a platform dedicated to delving into the core principles of Vedanta and uncovering the remarkable connections between scientific inquiry and ancient wisdom. I am Jayant Kapatkar, author of the book Science Meets Vedanta. Each week, inspired by insights from my book, we'll journey through a range of topics aimed at deepening your understanding of the essential teachings of Vedanta. Along the way, we'll also examine scientific concepts and demonstrate how the wisdom of Vedanta can offer new and meaningful perspectives. Be sure to join us as we embark on this enlightening path together. In this episode, we'll delve into the distinct roles of the brain and the mind, presenting the idea that the mind leads, directing the brain to carry out its instructions. Although this may seem counterintuitive to many, it's often assumed that the mind is merely a byproduct of the brain, where thoughts, feelings, and perceptions originate in the brain and simply manifest in the mind, akin to a computer processing information and displaying it on a screen. According to this perspective, the brain is the active force, with the mind displaying the results. This episode, however, invites you to reconsider that assumption. We'll show that the mind possesses the authority, actively guiding and influencing the brain's actions. To illustrate this viewpoint, we'll explore several key topics. 1. The role of the brain. 2. The role of the mind. 3. The origin of the mind. 4. The origin of the brain. 5. How mind and brain work together. The role of the brain. We all know that the brain is a tangible organ situated within the skull. It plays a pivotal role in regulating all bodily functions, acting as the central command center of the nervous system. The brain is responsible for collecting, organizing, and transmitting information throughout the body, maintaining control over the body's organs. As the body's most intricate organ, the brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons that communicate through complex networks, enabling the exchange of information. Researchers assert that the brain manages and coordinates the five sense organs. For instance, in the process of perception, light reflected from an object enters the eye and reaches the retina. The retina transforms this light into a neural signal, which is then relayed to the brain for interpretation. Although the precise mechanisms of this processing remain unclear to science, the resulting information is ultimately presented to the mind for conscious experience. This general process also applies to the other senses: hearing, smell, taste, and touch, where sensory input is sent to the brain for processing and the outcome is experienced in the mind. Based on this understanding, the brain appears to be the most vital organ in the human body, with the mind functioning as a secondary entity that experiences perceptions, thoughts, and emotions. Missing links in understanding the brain's role. There are many gaps remaining in the scientific explanation of the brain's role. Here are some of the key ones. 1. We possess awareness of our perceptions, thoughts, and feelings, as well as an overall awareness of our experiences. However, it remains unclear where this awareness originates or resides. Is the brain responsible for generating awareness? If so, there is currently no scientific evidence detailing how this occurs. 2. Additionally, there seems to be an observer within us who is aware of perceptions, thoughts, and feelings. The question of who this observer is and how it fits within the structure of the brain remains unanswered. To understand the role of the brain, these are critical and important questions that need an answer. We will try and answer these questions as we discuss this subject further. The role of the mind. The mind is not something tangible or physical. It can neither be touched nor diagnosed by conventional means. Because of this, truly understanding the mind's actual role proves challenging. Is the mind simply a byproduct or output device, as some scientists suggest? All our perceptions, thoughts, and emotions occur within the mind. Since science finds it nearly impossible to fully explore the mind's function, we must seek understanding from other sources. Vedanta offers profound insights into the true nature and role of the mind. Understanding the three bodies. A good way to start this discussion is to understand the three bodies. According to Vedanta, every entity in the universe is composed of three bodies: the seed body, the subtle body, and the gross body. The seed body gives rise to the subtle body, which in turn forms the gross physical body. To grasp this concept, we first consider the seed body. Just as a tiny seed contains the blueprint for a plant, the seed body holds the potential or blueprint for every object. When the seed germinates, it reveals all aspects of the plant. For example, only a rose can grow from a rose seed, guided by the information within. If this logic applies to plants, Vedanta asserts it must also apply to all things, both living and non-living in the universe. Every being or object has a unique seed body. This is the core from which everything emerges, just as a rose comes from a rose seed. For many, the idea of a seed body is unfamiliar. You might wonder where to find it within yourself. Upon reflection, you can equate the seed body with the soul. The two are one and the same. Your soul or seed body is like a unique biodata containing your personal history, skills, and characteristics. This seed or soul journeys with you, attaching to new bodies through successive rebirths. When the seed body begins to manifest, it creates the subtle body, which is essentially the mind. The mind or subtle body is composed of vrittis or subtle waveforms. These waveforms represent all forms and objects in the universe, from the tiniest to the largest. Every object, including your brain and body, has a corresponding subtle waveform or vritti. This concept aligns with quantum physics, which describes all matter as having both particle and wave aspects. The waveforms in quantum physics closely resemble the vrittis described by Vedanta, highlighting a striking similarity between these two perspectives. Please listen to the episode Connecting Quantum Physics with Vedanta, where we have made a detailed connection between quantum physics and Vedanta. In the presence of an observer, referred to in Vedanta as the Sakshi or witness, these object waveforms become tangible, gross objects. These are the concrete things we perceive in the world around us. Quantum physics similarly suggests that when a measurement device, an observer, interacts with a wave, it collapses into a particle. Once again, this parallels Vedantic teachings in a remarkable way. The central point here is that subtle objects are preceded by gross objects. The subtle gives rise to the gross. Thus, the mind, subtle, comes before the brain, gross. In this view, the mind is the cause and the brain is the effect. The mind creates the brain, not the other way around. This stands in contrast to the scientific perspective, which holds that the brain gives rise to the mind. However, even quantum physics lends support to Vedanta's view. The wave precedes the particle, just as the mind precedes the brain. Therefore, the mind must come first, followed by the brain. The origin of the mind. To delve into the origin of the mind, we must first explore our innermost essence. According to Vedanta, this core is self-awareness, a radiant source within us, much like a bulb emitting pure awareness. This self-awareness doesn't actively do anything, it simply shines awareness. For a deeper exploration, refer to the episode Understanding Self-Awareness. Here we'll summarize the main ideas. Awareness itself consists of three foundational aspects: subject, object, and intelligence. Alongside these, there are corresponding powers: knower, known, and knowing. The subject embodies the power of the knower, the object holds the power of the known, and intelligence carries the power of knowing. It's crucial to recognize that these components, subject, object, intelligence, and their respective powers, are not external phenomena. Instead, they exist within the fabric of awareness, forming its very structure. For instance, as you listen to this episode, your awareness encompasses the subject, object, and intelligence involved in the experience. The listener within you is the subject, the words you are hearing are the objects, and the intelligence is decoding the words so that listener can understand. Whenever you are aware, these elements and powers are active within you. 1. The power of the knower transforms awareness into a subject, such as a reader, listener, observer, speaker, or eater. This subject is also known as the observer, Sakshi, or witness of everything happening in the mind. 2. The power of the known shapes awareness into objects perceived by the five senses, similar to molding Play-Doh into different forms. This power allows awareness to take the shape of any object. 3. The power of knowing, representing intelligence, contains all potential knowledge within awareness. It is through this power that knowledge is accessed and applied. For example, seeing a tree involves the power of sight, decoding the tree's signal and adding understanding, while listening to music uses the power of hearing to interpret and make sense of the sounds. This process enables you to become aware of what you see or hear. Awareness and seed body. As we have seen, self-awareness is like a bulb within each person, emitting awareness that encompasses these three remarkable powers. But who receives the radiance of awareness? The answer is the seed body. Every living being, including you and me, has a seed body, which is synonymous with the soul. When awareness passes through the seed body, it creates the mind. The mind, therefore, is an extraordinary tool. It contains awareness and all its powers, enabling us to perceive, understand, and interact with the world on multiple levels. Isn't it incredible that the mind within us possesses these powers of awareness? Yet sadly, much of its potential remains concealed by our own ignorance. The origin of the brain. We have just explored how the powers of awareness, channeling through our soul or seed body, give rise to the mind. These powers make the mind an incredibly potent tool. Having understood the mind's source, let's now turn our attention to the origin of the brain. The brain belongs to the gross body and has a distinctly different beginning. So what is the origin of the gross body? The correct answer is that it originates in the mother's womb, where a single cell develops into a complex body with countless parts. The brain's development is an integral part of this physical growth. The Gaba Upanishad, a fascinating ancient text, provides details on the timeline and process by which the body's various parts form in the womb, such as when the hands and heart appear. Based on this text, it seems that the fetus, in its early stages, is simply a developing part of the body, devoid of personality, ego, or the sense of I. In essence, it is a piece of flesh growing inside the mother. However, the Upanishad notes that around the 7th month, the seed body or soul enters the fetus. This is the pivotal moment when consciousness awakens. The fetus receives a mind, and with it, intelligence flows into the brain, activating its functions. Neurons begin to fire, which in turn activate various body parts. The brain now serves as the central hub, orchestrating the functions of all bodily systems through the nervous system. The key takeaway is that while the mind is formed by the soul or seed body, the brain, which is part of the gross body, arises from external sources, namely the parent's cells. Yet once they are united, the mind and body work together seamlessly, functioning as a harmonious whole. How mind and brain work together. The mind is an incredible instrument encompassing awareness and a multitude of its powers. According to Vedanta, there exists a vast cosmic mind that comprises all individual minds. Within this cosmic mind are the vrittis, or subtle waveforms, representing every possible object and experience. Together, these waveforms merge into one intricate cosmic pattern. that embodies the entirety of the universe. When infused with intelligence from awareness, these waveforms are conscious and dynamic. The mind is a hub of constant activity, with these intelligent waveforms continuously interacting and influencing one another. This creates a fully functioning universe of subtle vibrations, all contained within the mind, though we are generally unaware of their existence because they are not tangible. Rather, they are subtle phenomena. For a deeper dive, consider listening to the episode Understanding the Universe of Waveforms. Every event, big or small, first arises in the mind before manifesting in the physical world. Even the tiniest action is initiated in the subtle realm of thought. So, what purpose does the brain serve? The brain's primary function is to interpret and act upon the mind's instructions, enabling our physical bodies to operate in the material world. For instance, imagine feeling hungry late at night. The mind sends messages to the brain to stand up, walk to the fridge, and get food. The brain then orchestrates this by activating the necessary muscles and coordinating movement, much like a sophisticated control center. It directs the body to rise from the chair, guides the legs toward the fridge, signals the hands to open it and retrieve food, and tells the mouth to eat. In many ways, the body operates like an advanced robot, responding to these intricate commands. This interaction between the mind and brain happens daily on a continuous basis. 1. Perception, emotions, and feelings all originate in the mind and are later processed by the brain. The brain contains specialized regions dedicated to various functions such as vision, hearing, and coordination with different body systems. Communication between the mind and brain occurs via billions of neurons, which act as messengers transmitting information back and forth. When the mind formulates an intention or directive, neurons relay this data to the corresponding areas of the brain. 2. Distinct groups of neurons then organize and synchronize the brain's activities to fulfill the mind's instructions. For actions to be carried out, the brain dispatches signals through the nervous system to the appropriate organs and body parts. The complexity of this system is truly remarkable. It's astonishing how seamlessly our intentions are translated from the mind into physical action by the brain. All this intelligence springs from our deepest essence, self-awareness, reminding us to appreciate the profound intelligence at our core. I hope this discussion provided valuable insights into the relationship between the mind and the brain. We explored how the mind directs the brain's activities rather than the commonly held scientific view that the brain governs the mind. The mind, endowed with awareness and intelligence, initiates all actions in its subtle realm before transmitting instructions for the brain to carry out in the physical world. While the brain is an incredibly intricate organ responsible for coordinating and controlling the body's various functions, it operates under the guidance of the mind. If you are interested in delving deeper into topics like this, we invite you to discover more in my book, Science Meets Vedanta, available on Amazon. Additionally, we offer a growing library of podcasts covering many different topics. Feel free to browse through them at your convenience. If you enjoyed today's episode, we encourage you to share it with your family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an upcoming episode. Thank you for tuning in. We look forward to connecting with you again soon.